What, you thought I was going to come to Ferrol and not get a Guinness? Come on, folks. It is mighty, sure. So yeah, great stuff here at Pavilion. Papillon, sorry even. And it's also a good movie, the original, not that terrible remake. Love Papillon, the original.
So a little bit of context is required here because, well, I may have pinted too hard and forgot to explain that while I was actually in Ferrol. So Baxi Ferrol's an extraordinary story. They are the ultimate Cinderella of European basketball, if not world basketball this season, playing in their first ever competition in European ball, their first ever year doing it. They're in EuroCup Women and they had to go in the qualifying round. They won that, then there was a group phase. They got through that, then there were 4 knockout rounds. And most of the time along the way, this team from the northwest of Spain and Galicia was not meant to do anything. They just won and kept on winning. And they got to the final of EuroCup Women. And that what brings me to Ferrol to tell you all about it and this phenomenal Cinderella story.
Welcome to Ferrol, where, life's pretty good. This, €1.50. But of course, I'm not here just for the wonderful scenery, the great people. Here for a bit of basketball, the EuroCup Women final in particular, where you might have seen on a site in recent weeks or on our other YouTube videos that Melia is playing for Baxi Ferrol. This town, great basketball history. This team, great boost to this town. I'm just going to tell you a bit about that. I'm going to bring you to the game, and of course, going to show you some of Ferrol.
So we're here in Praza de Armas. This is the town hall. Me and my best buddy and my biggest travel buddy Steve, we have a thing for always finding local government when we travel. Here it is here in Ferrol. Gorgeous, gorgeous building. And we're going to talk about other gorgeous buildings in just a little bit. So now we're coming into Praza de Embaixada. I'm sure I'm badly mispronouncing it, but the correct spelling should be in the caption. We're going to take a bit of a stroll around here, but it's named for a philanthropist, you can see a statue there, who played a big role in the development of Ferrol. But there is a basketball element to this as well, which we're going to be pointing to in a second, because as you may be aware, Ferrol wasn't always known as a women's basketball hub, it was a men's basketball hub. There was Bazan, and of course then there was Or. And Or, in the pro ranks, obviously had a great time for as long as they existed. But one of the things that helped them and made them sort of the hub of basketball in Galicia was right up there. You see where those gates are? That's an academy where the best young players in Galicia would come on scholarship to play in Or's academy. So essentially, Or would get these great young players all playing together, working together, learning their style and getting to play their kind of basketball, which it's just wonderful, really. So we're here at, well, like the heart, as you can see, the military part. There's more commercial shipping over there. It's obviously a major port town, but it's also significant in history from the military side of things. So most of you watching will know that historically, when the British, especially in the eras, we're talking the War, Second Coalition and all that, in the era of the Napoleonic Wars, Britain, when it came to, naval battles, generally had a good record against Spain. This is the exception, and you can't really see it even from this vantage point, and it's as good a vantage point as I'm going to get. But it's an extraordinarily defensible position. So the British brought a huge force here in 1800 and were repelled, essentially because, it's like there's a lot of water here, so you can bring a lot into the back, but entering it very, very narrow. So there's a very narrow actual point of attack. So it made for an exceptionally defensible position for the Spanish forces, and it was, a rare failure for the British Navy in that era when it came to a European naval expedition. So quite a bit of history here in Ferrol just for that alone. Like, you didn't get too many British naval failures. This very much was the site of one of them. Local militia as well, heavily involved in sort of repelling that British invasion, and it was just a categorical failure for the British, which me as an Irishman, I don't know why I keep saying something was a categorical failure for the British, but I feel the need to bring it up a few times. So yeah, extraordinary bit of history here. Now, I can't talk about all these wonderful bits of history I've been talking about without mentioning the help from the locals here. Raul in particular, one of the local journalists, he brought me for a walk earlier, gave me some really great insights into this town, into its history. Massive thanks to him. Now let's get back to all the other fun things we're doing. So when we see this sign, it means we're going to see some great architecture from the modernist architect Rodolfo Ucha. And well, look up, basically. This is just fascinating to look at the buildings around here. Obviously, some of them are newer than others, but as we pan around, you can see some of just the wonderful influence Rodolfo had on this town, on the buildings. Just going to bring in a walk here, a bit of an elevated walk, just so you can get a better look at some of the beautiful, stunning, and as most importantly, distinctive buildings here. Really, like, just feels into the town so beautifully. And yeah, no, it's really cool. Like, you know, just seeing all this, the influence in this town in Galicia, which again, had it not been for an Irish player doing very well at basketball, I might never have even considered visiting, and I now couldn't recommend visiting it much more. People are so friendly, not just in the general sense, but I was like working out how am I going to make my insane o'clock flight on Thursday morning. One of the locals, Pablo, goes, I got a buddy. His buddy goes, I got you sorted. So that's my taxi back to the airport sorted at a hilarious hour. So just lovely people, amazing food, and yeah, just absolutely thrilling, enjoyable, great people, and of course, the basketball as well. So we have here Cafe Liquor, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing. My buddy Pablo of the Claire's Gang recommended it. Let's give it a go. That is tasty, very tasty.
No. This. Any other one? This one. This hard. I think it. Papa. Another. Triple.
So here we are, the night before the EuroCup Women final first leg. I'm sure you're getting a lot of glare in this shop. I want you to see this. The harbour is cranes lit up in Baxi Ferrol colours to support the team they are so proud of in this city. So in 1986, Spain hosted what is now the FIBA World Cup, or was then the FIBA World Championships, and one of the venues was where the game is tonight, Amalata in Ferrol, and each of the 6 teams that came here, we're just going to lean in here, planted a tree in memory of the occasion. So this is the tree from the Cuban side that played here. We're just going to walk down, we'll see another one of them shortly. But this is sort of just to get the memory of the occasion, like, you know, this was a historic thing for Ferrol, but also for the teams to be here. And so they came along, and we're just going to see one more here, but just to sort of to tie them to the city in some way for the years to come afterwards. So this, we can see, is the Uruguay tree. We'll just step back a little there, and right across from us is the Naval Museum. So, you know, easy to get around town, and my word, just so much to see. So I see your Ireland flag and this green skirt. Do you like Claire?
Yes, I love Claire.
Well, I have travelled very far to meet these men. These are some of the Claire's gang. They are very proud Baxi Ferrol fans. Guys, who's going to win tonight?
Dimos Ferrol.
21 points for us.
Wow, we're crazy here in Ferrol with the basketball girls. Like what they made with the low budget, get to the finals. I think it happens one time in life.
And like Claire, obviously, you know, she's like the big story back home. The people here seem to love her.
Yes, we do, because she came without a huge background in the European basketball, and we are very, very surprised with the performance that she's having in the season. And she hustles every time. She is like really well here in the city, matching with everyone, so we're pretty happy with her. Okay, you can see also the fans with the orange hair and everything.
So one last question, who will win tonight?
I will bet for Baxi, 100%.
Excellent.
perdernos poquito a poco abre tus manos.
So the fan zone's really filled up behind me. This game is more than a sellout. So where the band is there, I can just about to get them in shot. They're going to have the game on a screen for the fans who can't get in. It is right beside Malata. Like, this is the biggest thing in Ferrol in a very long time, and it's so wonderful to be part of it. Half-time here in Ferrol. A home side leading 44-42. You can tell it's loud, but you can tell it's special. You can only hope. You can only hope. So full time, they didn't get the results on the night, but it's still all to play for 75-78. And this team has gone to Istanbul, remember, and won against Galatasaray. They're used to hard road wins. I'm going to be in Lille. I hope to see you there. Let's talk to Claire.
Probably 10 points at one stage, 11 points, but like we came back into it. They're a good team, they're a physical, strong team, but like, look, it was a great game. We're in the EuroCup final, what else can you ask for?
And like the huge boost, when you come in that second quarter, the team just seemed to change. Did you feel it yourself?
No, not really. Just, you don't notice it sometimes until you look up at the scoreboard and see it, you know, you think, oh, how did that happen? It's a good game and it went well. We competed, like it wasn't like we were thrown off the court either, so it was good.
And like obviously 75-78, that's like all to play for next week, surely.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's one shot. We missed a few 3-pointers as well, like, you know, or a few free throws as well. Like, you know, other days they'll go in. You know, you never know what can happen. We went out and enjoyed it, like, you know, today. Hopefully we'll do that again next week too.
And like, do you feel like you might have been a bit nervous the first quarter this time? You won't have that next time?
I don't know. I think there will be nerves there as well. Still going into it, especially when it's an away game as well. Like, go and enjoy the moments now. You can hear people, mad ones shouting in the background here. So it's great support and it's a great atmosphere here today, taking in all the moments.
And that's the thing I'd ask, with the support here, it's been phenomenal. Like all week I've been here, it's been incredible. Like you must be feeling it all season.
Yeah, it's great. like, you know, you just, even when like we lost that game, and you could see the support there, like it's there all the time. There's no looking down on you, like, you know, like they're just there and they're great people. You can see there's someone behind you with an orange beacon, you know, and an Irish flag around them. You never thought coming out here that's what it was going to be like.
And like, just like, so, you know, we think, I have to double check, that's the best performance by an Irish player ever in a European final. Now, there's only 2 or 3 to count it against. 4, because 3 of them belong to Pat Burke. But we think that's the best, including points and efficiency ever. Like, how do you feel knowing you've sort of done that now?
Well, I only know that because of you, Emmet. I want to know all this stuff only for you and Orla from the sideline live. So I appreciate all your support. I do from the start as well. It's great.
Well, we appreciate that too, but one last thing to ask you, because obviously there's a lot of people back home, you know, keeping in touch. Do you know, realise how important it is for the sport back home, what's happening here?
I don't think it's hit me yet, and I probably won't until I go home after the season. Like, we'll enjoy the moments. It's great to have family and friends here, you know, and I'll go on there and celebrate even though we lost, but we'll enjoy the night, enjoy the moment. It might not come around ever again.
That there, just there, that's Claire's sister. She's just loving this moment as well, like, you know, great baller in her own right, I'll point out. Okay, so I know we have Farouk here. Who else have I got?
I'm Kat.
Cats. So you all have made it over from Ireland for this. How are you feeling after that?
Very hopeful. It was a good performance. We got off about 4:30 this morning and we went for a car, 2 planes, a bus, a train and a taxi to get here.
All worth it.
And it was all worth it. We both are members of Galicia Basketball Club, Claire's family in Dublin, and really happy with the performance, and they have a really good chance in the away leg. They just have to regroup and work out a few things, but a really brave performance, gutsy performance, and Claire did us proud as the Irish family here.
Farouk, you're as much of a cheerleader as a fan when it comes to basketball. How are you feeling?
A hell of a game, great to be here. Atmosphere is here, it's what I'm here for, thriving off it. And it's just a great experience. Glad I made it out. Always here to support our friend, and she gave us a lot to cheer for. So.
And are you going to enjoy the night?
Absolutely, we're only starting.
Yeah.
I'm going Sons Mike for the closer. Why not? Because it's a great band, it's a great atmosphere. I'm going to have a couple of beers. Then, as everyone in Ferrol knows, I'm in a taxi to Santiago at 3 in the morning, which is obviously long after you're seeing this. But if you haven't already, it really does mean a lot. Do all the YouTube things, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, all that. It makes a huge, huge difference. It's going to be an amazing second leg. This will be up before then, but I've had just an amazing time in Ferrol. Oh my word, even if you aren't cover basketball, but do cover basketball, it is incredible. Visit the city, it is beautiful. The food, the people, the drink, everything. Wonderful. But for now, I will see you soon.